Good evening, I'm Pinky Webb. Tonight we ask the questions, we tackle the issues, we clarify matters, and we get on point. Eighteen alleged former Marines are under scrutiny after claiming to have delivered cash-filled luggage to several government officials. Aside from their allegations, they are also facing questions over their credibility. The National Bureau of Investigation has issued subpoenas to the supposed bagmen, while more perjury complaints are filed against them. Let's get on point with NBI Director, Attorney Melvin Matibag. Director, good to see you again, having another role now.
Yes. Yeah, it's my pleasure, and thank you for inviting me again. Good evening.
All right, let's start with, there are a number of complaints filed. Siguro para malinaw, Director, no? Yeah. Meron ho kasing mga personalities that filed before the DOJ. Right. At meron din pong personalities that filed before the NBI regarding these allegations of these alleged Marines. Ano po? Isa-isahin ko lang po, yung latest kasi si Congresswoman Laila De Lima and Father Flavi ang nag-file ng cyber and perjury case dito po sa NBI. Tell us more about that,
well,
sir, please.
yung pinail nila Father Flavi and Congresswoman Laila De Lima is cyber libel. Yun namang pinail nila sa DOJ is perjury. I think the action is based on the revised penal code. So they came to NBI. Pinail nila sa CCD namin, Cybercrime Division ng NBI. So, we will investigate yung pinapafile nila. So, to build up a case kung meron silang reason to file criminal actions before the Office of the Prosecutor or the DOJ. Kasi yung process natin, investigation, then filing sa prosecutor, then the prosecutor will conduct investigation, then inquest na tinatawag and everything. So, assuming na may nakita silang probable cause, they will file it sa court, and that's the time na yung information yun. So that is the process nung batas. So ang nangyari rito kila Congresswoman, ang pinail nila is the perjury. I think that's based on the revised penal code and the cybercrime for us to investigate. That's why nasa cybercrime division namin yan.
I see. So yung pag-file po nila ng complaint sa NBI, dun din po lalabas yon if ever. It'll still end up with the prosecutors of the DOJ.
That's right. Prosecutor, then go to the court. Kung makita nila na there's a reasonable certainty of convicting based on the crime, because that's the standard of the Department of Justice.
Okay, so what can we expect from this complaint filed before the NBI, sir?
Well,
apart from the steps that you already mentioned, meron ho ba kayong time frame na tinitingnan para po mabigyan ng solution ito?
Yeah, you know, Ma'am Pinky, lagi namin sinasabi sa NBI, we will treat every case the same. So, sino man yung nag-file yan, mataas na tao, maliit na tao, pare-parehas talaga yung dinidevote namin na oras dyan. But of course, in this case, tinitingnan ng tao to merong bang mataas na public interest. So, hindi naman sasabing ipapast track to sidestep kung ano yung mga dapat na requirement. So, imbestigahan namin yan. Kanina, pumunta na roon. May mga inassign na kaming investigators. So, we'll start issuing subpoena to the people involved. And also, meron kaming team dyan, yung technical team namin, to review yung mga postings nila, yung mga nalagay dun sa Facebook, sa YouTube, or sa manmang sa social media platform, kung it will warrant a case to be filed sa Office of the Prosecutor.
Pero hindi ho ito nalalayo dito sa subpoena na what you already issued dito po sa 18 supposed Marines. Di ho ba? It's obviously the same case.
Tama po, ma'am. Kasi ano siya, connected siya. Dahil yung mga personalities, una-una na binanggit po doon sa pinail po ni Congresswoman De Lima at ni Father Flavi is parehas din po na personalities. And ibig sabihin nito, before pa po sila nag-file, nakapag-issue na po kami ng mga subpoena. Probably for practical consideration, doon din nang naging dahilan ni Congresswoman De Lima na dalhin sa amin dahil alam nila na may umuusad na po kaming investigasyon.
Dahil mag-uumpisa or nag-uumpisa na kayo. And then of course, you have, nag-umpisa na.
Opo.
You have General Katapang. Nag-file din po siya before the DOJ.
Disbarment. May pinail pa po siyang disbarment. At may
Bukod
pinail din
pa
po sa
yun.
Iba pa po yun.
Oo. Tapos meron pa rin of course Senator Trillanes.
Senator Trillanes,
Secretary Anyo.
That's right po. That's
So
right.
so far, there are three individuals who have filed complaints before the DOJ.
Right.
And 2 so far filed before the NBI. Is that accurate, sir?
Correct po. Tama po. plus one sa Supreme Court, yung
And then
disbarment.
the disbarment case against Attorney Baligod, hindi ho ba? All right. So, uusad po yan. Sabi niyo nga, nag-umpisa na kayo. Pag sinabi niyo nag-umpisa, what stage are you in right now, the NBI, when we're talking about the allegations of these alleged Marines?
Well, nagsimula po yan when we were deputized by the Office of the Ombudsman to investigate. Maalala po natin, si Attorney Baligod, nagkaroon siya ng press conference, tapos kinabukasan, pumunta po siya ng Office of the Ombudsman na isinabiti niya yung joint affidavit ng 18 na allegedly na Marines, tapos may cover letter lang siya, yun po yung nakalagay doon. Ang ginawa po ng Office of the Ombudsman, deputized the National Bureau of Investigation to conduct the investigation. So immediately, nung natanggap po namin yan, nag-issue po kami ng mga subpoena. Even prior to that, as our mandate, nagkaroon po kami ng mga background checking based o doon sa affidavit po na ipinost nila sa social media, sa Facebook. So meron na po kaming initial na thinking, na approach to investigate it.
Would you cross-check what was said on social media and during the press conference versus the joint affidavit that they submitted before the Office of the Ombudsman?
Well, may konti lang po. Yung pong pinost nila na affidavit, may mga konti na pinalitan. Pero kung sabihin yung cross-check ngayon, dahil nangyari po yan last week, marami na pong mga nag-supervene na events, kagaya ng mga interview sa mga TV po, sa kung saan pong station, na nakikita na po namin yung mga, kung ano yung mga diferensya.
For example, yung kay Jessica Soho, hindi ko ba
Exactly
yun?
po.
That's one, okay.
Tama po yun. Kasi parang kung titingnan mo, sasabihin mo, maliit na bagay yun. Kasi sinabi dun nung isa, 5 maleta. Naging 3 na nung kay Jessica Soho na. Meron pa rin po yung pong sinabi na una si Dilima, maleta, naging paper bag. Ganun na po yung may mga inconsistencies po tayong nakikita. Tapos kami naman po, other end, yung
Sorry
sinabi
to interrupt you, sir. What is the value of that? Because that's not under oath, hindi ho ba? Versus the affidavit that they submitted before the Office of the Ombudsman.
Well, unang-una po, parehas po yung tao na nagsabi niyan eh. Alam po, yung value lang naman pag sinabing under oath, sinusumpaan mo yan. So, ibig sabihin, handa kang managot sa batas. Kaya po may perjury siguro na ikinaso hindi ko po nakita yung complaint ni Secretary De Lima, ni Congresswoman De Lima, kung ano pong nakalagay doon. Pero I suspect na po sinabi niya yan. Na nung nag-press con kayo, sabi nyo, hindi nakasama ako, maleta dinala. Ngayon, paper bag. So may inconsistencies na po kagad. And alam nyo po, sa batas po at sa korte, pag tiningnan po, may pagkakamali ka na isa, medyo nagiging questionable yung buong kwento mo. Lalo na po rito, unang-una, 18 pong tao na gumawa ng isang affidavit. So isa po yan sa tinitingnan namin. That's why tinawag po namin sila 18. Pwede bang, ang una po namin sasabihin, pwede bang mag-issue kayo ng sarili nyong affidavit, ng sarili nyong salaysay? Dahil ang sworn affidavit po, that is a personal recollection of what you do, yung participation mo. So very unusual po na 18 na sasabihin mo, ganito yung kwento ko. Hindi naman kayo araw-araw sigurong kasama kung totoo may nangyari yan. So para mahimay po natin, dapat mag-undertake ka to give your own recollection na sarili mo.
Let's talk about that, Director.
Opo.
Yung sinubmit po nila kay Office of the Ombudsman, ang sinasabi niyo po, just to be very clear about it, is one affidavit for 18 of them.
That's correct
How
po.
many pages was it?
Parang including the annexes, it's 36 pages eh.
Okay.
So may mga picture po kasi na even yung mga lisensya nila. So medyo yun po yung tinitingnan namin dahil tama naman po si Ombudsman Boyeng Rimulya na parang bakit naman isang joint affidavit sa isa lang na sa 18 tao. At saka po pag ikaw nagreklamo ka, kasi may mga sinasabi po dapat imbestigahan yung inireklamo. Hindi po naman sila talaga nagreklamong diretso yung 18 eh. Ang practice po sa ombudsman, kung ikaw magrereklamo, pupunta ka roon, ikaw mismo nagrereklamo, at susumpaan mo doon po sa official ng ombudsman yung iyo pong reklamo. Ang nangyari po rito, yung joint affidavit dinala ni Attorney Baligod at sinasabit para mag-imbestiga. But let me say this, na pwede naman po talaga yon, mandate ng ombudsman, kahit nga po sa tissue paper nakasulat yung reklamo, it's the mandate of the ombudsman to investigate. Kaya naman po siguro dineputize kami para imbestigahan namin. So ganun po yung nangyari rito.
Yeah, in fact, pwede rin ho talaga yung yung motu proprio
Tama po.
investigation
That's right. Opo.
by the Ombudsman, let's talk about, because you were talking about some of yung kanilang press conference and the succeeding interviews after that. Ano ho ang, if at all, any liability of Attorney Baligot? Because as mentioned a while ago, you already have General Katapang filing a disbarment case supposed to be against him before the Supreme Court kasi nauna po yung pag-file niya before the DOJ. So, ano ho ang kanyang accountability?
Unang-una po, yung sa action ni General Katapang, meron po kaming mga abogadong tinatawag na Code of Professional Responsibility and Accountability, CPRA. Hindi po dapat kami magkukonsinti kung isang maling gawain. We will not tolerate na may magsusumiti po ng maling paratang o maling ebidensya sa isang tao. Yun po yung unang-unang responsibility.
Pero kailangan alam mo. Kailangan alam mo nagsisinungaling.
Kailangan alam mo po, pero pwede rin po mapatunayan ang yung pagkukulang kung yung mga actions is hindi po normal o hindi nababatay sa itinakda po ng ating po mga rules and regulations.
Are you saying, Director, that as a lawyer, in a way you have to check the veracity of the testimony of your clients before you accept?
Tama po.
Okay.
Tama po kasi unang-una, lalo hindi naman nagsasalita doon sa press con. Kung mapansin nyo, hindi naman nagsasalita po yung mga 18. Siya yung nagsasalita, parang siya ang nagsasalaysay. So dapat po, tignan po yung kabuuan na yan.
So we were talking about accountability. What else, sir?
That's correct. Pangalawa po, kung meron po tayong makitang anggulo talaga rito, naririnig naman natin na it's a move to destabilize or mag-ano ng mga kaguluhan, mayroon po mga pananagutan din po sa batas yung ganyan pong gawain.
And you are looking into this as well.
Opo.
In other words, when you investigate this, because you were deputized by the Ombudsman, titingnan niyo po yung affidavit ng 18 Marines, gayon din si Attorney Baligot.
Lahat po. Lahat po ng anggulo titingnan namin. Ganito po, sabi ko nga, sisimplify po natin para naunawaan ng taong bayan. Halimbawa po, Ma'am Pinky, kayo pumunta sa presinto at nagreklamo. Hindi rireklamo niyo isang tao. Hindi naman po kaagad tinatawag nung nag-iimbestigang pulis yung tao. Sino pong unang tinatanong? Hindi po ba't kayong nagrereklamo? At susuriin po yung statement ninyo. Pag nakita po nung nag-iimbestiga na mukhang may punto yung sinasabi ni Ma'am Pinky, tawagin natin to. Puntahan natin tong inireklamo at atin ding pagpapaliwanagin at pasagutin. Lahat po ng anggulo, tinitingnan din po namin yung anggulo, na maaaring itong 18 ito ay biktima. Dahil baka po maaaring yung mga gustong manggulo o magkaroon ng stabilisasyon, kausapin sila na under vitiated yung consent nila, under duress sila, na gawin mo to. O kaya po, pag po sinabi po sa batas na vitiated yung consent, pwedeng pananakot, pwedeng panunuhol. So titingnan po natin yung
In other words, you're gonna start with the 18.
Sila po ang una nating tatanungin, si Attorney Baligot po,
And
si Congressman Mike Defensor,
Okay.
pinatawag din po natin yung may bahay ni Congressman Defensor, pinatawag din po natin yung nagnotaryo. Dahil very
that's right,
unusual
sir.
po yung nagnotaryo. Kung ako po yung magnotaryo, teka muna, 18 kayo, bakit naman pinagsama-sama nyo sa isang affidavit to? Pwede bang isa-isa na
well,
lang
I
kayo?
don't know the legal practice. Is that really odd, sir?
That is very odd po, na 18, isang joint affidavit na ang salaysay, parang tinahi at ginawa po. Pero I don't want to make my judgment na gano'n. Ang sinasabi ko lang po, we're talking about dahil. I'm not removing the possibilities that the person's name doon sa affidavit na may mga partisipasyon ay maaaring may pagkakakulang at may nagawa sa batas. But we will follow that lead also. So pag dinala po tayo ng ebidensya at tinignan natin doon, pwede po natin silang tawagin. Pero let me cite a specific example already. Minention po nila si Tube tsaka si Saldico na nag-arkila sila sa air taxi. Nagsampinadusis tekum po kami sa air taxi. Nag-issue na ng certification but since 2022 hanggang 2025, never nilang naging pasaherong magkasama si Saldico at yung si Tube. So yun po, document yun. That is a notarized document issued by air taxi. So sa value po ng ebidensya, when you go to court, meron po tayong tinatawag na best evidence rule, rules of evidence. It's the document that it speaks for itself. And that's the document is notarized at ayun namang air taxis, kilala natin na reputabling korporasyon. So kung ako po yung judge, between doon sa nagsasalita na ganito at meron pong testamentong sinasabi at may dokumento, under the rules of evidence, mas paniniwalaan ko po itong
Is that
ebidensya
so?
na ito.
That's a very interesting for me because basically now you're saying that a testimony that is salungat dito sa yung kanilang testimonya nagiging salungat doon sa Sa air taxi, for example. Kasi
Opo.
sabi niyo po, walang
Sinabi na po, may certification na po.
there's a certification to be clear about what?
Opo.
That
Never na nagkasama si Tube at saka si Saldico.
Saldico na
Doon po sa
sinabi
record
nila.
sila. Yung po may flight details po yan. Ako po yung nagtrabaho, Ma'am Pinky, sa airport as general manager. Lahat po ng sumasakay at tumitake off, umaalis po sa airport po, may record po lahat na pangalan yan. Kahit private plane pa po yan.
Then that destroys
Doon
that
po,
particular
yan
testimony?
po yung sinasabi ko. Of course, it's the court who will decide. What I'm saying is ganun po yung procedure under the rules of evidence.
Doon po sa hindi na are not familiar with that particular incident, sir, can you kindly tell us again yung kanilang paggamit ng air taxi?
Sinabi po doon, sabi David, na pumunta sila ng Ilocos, nag-deliver ng pera doon sa Ilocos, kasama siya ni Saldico. So may date siyang sinasabi, sometimes 2024 yata, 2025. So ang kinuha po namin certification from the air taxis, ano ba yung period? Binaknak na po natin, 2022 hanggang 2025.
Even
Wala
before?
Po. Wala.
A couple of years even before the supposed
Opo, hindi po sila
delivery.
nagkasama.
All right. We're going to take a very short break. We'll continue our discussion with the NBI Director, Melvin Matibag, when we return. Stay tuned. This is On Point. Welcome back. Still with us, NBI Director Melvin Matibag. Sir, I know I asked you this, it was off-air, but it's good to ask it now because even when you look and research about the 18 alleged Marines, hindi ho talaga nahanap yung kanilang mga pagkakakilanlan. So, nag-issue kayo ng subpoena doon sa 18. I'm assuming that you got this because they filed that joint affidavit before the Office of the Ombudsman and you were deputized by the Office of
That's
the
right,
Ombudsman.
ma'am.
Okay.
Pero yung address pong ginamit nila is yung address ng opisina ni Atty. Baligod. So that's the legal document. So we base it doon po namin pinadala. In fact, nakita ko yung social media posting ni Atty. Baligod, nakalatag na rin sa mesa niya na nakuha niya lahat ng mga subpoena na pinadala namin. Pero just the same, ma'am, we are NBI. So we the follow-up. Alam din po namin na kung saan mga nakatira yung iba rito. But let me say this lang, Ma'am Pinky, sorry
ahead,
po,
sir.
no? Sinasabi nila 18 Marines, doon pa lang po may misrepresentation eh. Because we already got certification
From the Philippine Navy.
from Philippine Navy na apat doon po, hindi Marines.
Yeah, okay. I was gonna go there. Sorry, sir. Balikan ko lang. Mabilis lang to. Pwede ho ba kayong magsabpina sa opisina ng abogado? Hindi ho ba pag nagsasabpina ay ipinapadala doon sa residence ng tao?
Tama po yan, ma'am. Pero in this case, there is already a legal document na mismo nilang sinabi na yung mga processes ng court or any investigation can be channeled to that
I
address.
see.
So, meron
Okay.
po silang sinabi na
Parang
na-claim
on
na ganun.
behalf,
Opo.
through the lawyer.
Through the
Pwede
lawyer
ho
po.
yun?
Opo.
Okay.
Hindi lang nga po through the lawyer, sinabi ng dun yung address
Through
nila.
this address.
Napapadala
Okay.
po.
Well, I'm assuming, sir, for their safety as well, because they're also saying there are also threats to their safety and possibly their lives.
That is
no?
a claim, ma'am. No? So ako nga po, as the director of the NBI and the entire strength of NBI, kung meron pong threat sa kanila to do harm, we're offering the professional service of NBI. We can even provide safe houses for them. And kung may mangyari sa kanila during the time that they are under our care, I will be personally responsible in the entire bureau po.
Can they trust the NBI, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I notice nga ngayon po, everybody's going to NBI. Lahat po pumupunta ron to investigate. And I think the mandate given to us by Ombudsman Remulla, he knows that we have a clear direction on this matter. I'll just be honest, ang hirap lang po kasi ito parang, let's admit it, it's parang may labanan na ito yung sinasabi ng grupo na to, ito yung grupo na to. Pero let me assure everybody na kami, susundan namin yung proseso at susundan namin yung kung ano yung ebidensya. Ang sagot lang naman po namin dito, we will be very transparent the way we're doing it. Nung we issued the subpoena, sinabi po namin yan.
So now you're offering them even safe houses for...
That's right,
okay. All right. Balikan po natin yung sinabi niyo. The 18 alleged Marines, for the record, sir, the Philippine Navy already said that there are 14 of them supposed
Four
to
of
be?
them, doon po sa 18, is not member of the Marines. And meron na rin po kaming nauna pang sinabwina na kanilang pinapahagingan na nakuha namin nung Friday po. Na sinabi na yung sa 18 yan, yung 8, hindi naman naka-assign kay Saldico, naka-assign sa kanya.
Sino po si kanya?
Ay, hindi ko lang po pwede pang i-reveal
Okay,
yung personality.
let's repeat that, sir. Among the 18,
Among the 18, yung 8 sa kanya po naka-assign, hindi po kay Saldico.
assigned to someone else.
Opo.
Okay.
Actually, ito nga i-clear ko kasi 103 po yan. Nanggaling mismo ang numero dun sa Facebook post ni Attorney Balikod.
Okay.
That's why I was misquoted by some social media news outfit na sinasabi 100 pa daw yung lalabas. Na sabi ko, ang statement ko po when I was interviewed at that time, 100 yung kinausap nila. At out of 100, 38 yung pumayag.
100 ang kinausap nila.
Kinausap po nila.
38 ang pumayag.
38 yung pumayag.
Okay.
Yung po yung statement sa akin nung aming inimbestigahan nung Friday. Out of 38, 18 yung lumabas na.
Okay.
So sabi ko, baka meron pa, baka may lalabas pa silang 20.
Kasi may 20
Kaya
na
po,
difference.
kasi meron pa po silang mga ini-schedule ulit na press con na monitor naman po namin.
How do you monitor that?
Well, ma'am, hindi ko po pwedeng sabihin sa inyo, NBI po, pero we have networks, we have mga assets po na nagbibigay sa
So
amin
you're
ng
telling us
information.
may lalabas pa? Hindi lang natin alam
Well,
yan.
baka hindi na po dahil ngayon nga sinasabi nila natatakot pero very coincidental na nung nilabas namin yung subpoena, that's the time na biglang may threat sa buhay nila. So medyo off lang po kasi nung yung officially we're conducting the investigation, bakit biglang nawala? Samantalang dun sa mga interview, haharap kami, karangalan kong makasama sa kaso na to, hindi kami natatakot. All of a sudden, ba't parang nag-iba yata yung takbo?
Director, what happens on Wednesday if they don't show up?
Thursday po. Ma'am.
Thursday.
Po.
Wasn't
Thursday
it Wednesday originally?
Thursday po talaga because we followed the 5 days notice po.
Okay,
Opo.
I stand corrected
Kaya,
there. So
Thursday
what
po,
happens
12
on
po.
Thursday if they don't show up?
Well, ang ombudsman po has the contempt power. So since we are deputized, we can report it to the ombudsman and probably the ombudsman can act on it whether to exercise their contempt power or not. Or kami naman po as a mandated investigating authority under Rule 72 of the Rules of Court, we can go to court and ask for a contempt. Pero I'm encouraging them to come. Kasi po, we owe it to the nation, we owe it to the people na nilabas nyo to eh. So kung gusto nyo po talagang maimbestigahan yung mga pinangalanan ninyo, pupunta po kayo and we will record yung every step of the investigation para po walang sabihin na ginipit o tinakot sila or anong ginawa sa kanila. It will be recorded. And if they really want to prove
Just
it,
recorded for your private
Yes, ma'am.
private recording
Opo.
para kung may questions
That's
or
right, ma'am.
concerns, meron kung kayo may
meron po yung
papakita
record.
itong nangyari.
Tama po,
Okay.
ma'am. Opo. And also, we have technologies to prove if they want to submit to a polygraph test, pwede rin po namin gawin yun. Because
Alright.
we have that technical expertise po to do that.
Balikan po natin yung 18. Nilinaw nyo na po na 18 ang lumabas, supposed to be out of possibly 38. No? But now you're not sure if the balance of
come out po
20 will actually come out. All right, that's clear. Doon po sa 18, sinabi po ng Navy that 14 of them were Marines, ex-Marines, but some of them, or
Four.
a lot of them,
Four are not, tapos kinonfirm pa po, apat po
four
hindi.
of the 18 never served in the
Yes,
Marines.
that's
right.
right,
So
ma'am.
that's 14. That leaves 14 of them that were former members of the Marines. Ang sabi po nila, most of the others were dishonorably discharged, meaning they're
They're either a wall or hindi po sila nagsubmit sa proseso ng pag-alis nila. And we also validated that nine, I don't know if 9 individuals or I'm not just sure, but 9 cases. Iba-iba po. Prostrated murder, violence against women, meron po silang stapa. 10 po na kaso.
9.
9 cases po. Some of them out on bail po.
But does that affect their credibility?
Well, again, if we go to court, tinitingnan po lahat ng korte yan. Kasi yung allegation mo
But will it affect the NBI's investigation? Wag na po muna tayo sa korte.
Well, kami po ang titingnan namin yung veracity nung sinasabi. Those are just backgrounds. We're talking about backgrounds. Siyempre, we will be more careful. We will exercise more caution because alam namin na may ganito pong mga bagay. So, ganun po yung titingnan namin dito.
Okay, so Thursday po, you said there are options that can be taken. Do you honestly think, sir, that they will show up? Or is it okay na ho ba kung si Attorney Baligod lang ang magpakita on their behalf?
Well, mas maganda po sana lahat sila dahil ang plano nga po natin, mag-issue sila ng kani-kanyang affidavit po. Pero si Attorney Baligod, tatanungin po natin dyan. Kasi mas kabisado po niya yung istorya base dun sa press conference.
Do you think they'll show up, sir?
Well, I'm hoping that lumabas po sila kasi matapang naman pong lumabas doon sa press conference. If sinasabi mo natatakot ka sa buhay mo, bago mo po ginawa yan. It's a decision, it's a major decision na kinonsulta mo yung pamilya mo, kinonsulta mo lahat ng mga kaibigan, kinonsulta mo yung abogado mo. And if I'm the lawyer, ako si Atty. Baligon, this is a very serious allegation, malalaking tao to. Handa ka ba talagang lumabas dito? Tatawagin tayo rito. Di po ba? So, dapat nagawa mo yan. Ako nga po, bago ko tinanggap yung posisyon, kinusulta ko yung pamilya ko, kinusulta ko yung mga kaibigan ko. Dahil alam ko, this is law enforcement. Medyo malalagay sa kasaalanganin, may mga danger kang haharapin.
Kahit na po sabihin natin, Director, that you are independent, the NBI or the DOJ, you know, when you really look at it, the DOJ, the Ombudsman, etc., they're all appointed by the President.
That's correct.
At ito pong 18 ay basically is hitting the President, di ba?
Yes.
How can one, and I know you're saying you're going to be objective and all, but how can they maybe even trust a process wherein it is headed by individuals who are appointed by the President?
Well, ang sagot ko nga po sinasabi is the transparency. Makita po dapat ng tao. Pero nung ginawa po nila at lumabas po sila dyan, they already take that road na alam nila haharap sila sa ganitong sitwasyon. Kanino po tayo pupunta? Wala naman po tayong ibang pupuntahan, kundi yung mga nandiyan din po sa gobyerno. We have to trust the system and yung mandatong binigay po sa atin. And probably, after matapos namin, I'll come back here and that's the time that you judge Atty. Matibag kung ano tayo naging fair po
Sige
sa taong bayan.
Attorney, quickly, we have 2 minutes left. I want to talk about Ramil Madriaga kasi meron pong report na there was a threat to his life pero parang lumalabas, it might not have been personal in terms of his allegations against the Vice President. Parang nagkaroon ata ng nagsikuhan ata sila doon sa detention center. What is the update on him?
Well, ang ginawa po namin dyan, because it's our duty also to protect anyone, nagpadala po kami agad ng team to investigate kung ano yung nangyari. And there's an investigation, nakita naman po doon na meron talagang attempt to harm him.
Ano
Pero
yung harm?
motivation,
Ano po yung harm?
He was pushed to the corner. Ang nakapagtaka po rito, itong inmate na to, kalilipat lang. Galing ng Pasay, nilipat doon. On the same day, meron siyang incident. So I received a call from the lawyer. The lawyer visited me to report po yung incident na yon. And nag-investigate po kami, na-identify po yung tao.
Okay.
So the better thing to do na ginawa namin, sinecure po namin siya. Just to be sure, wala pa po kaming conclusion na ito yung itong grupo na to or itong one. Pero he is very interested ang taong bayan sa kanya. So we have to protect him, na bigyan ng security.
How was your investigation done? Was there a CCTV, sir? Nakita niyo ba sa CCTV
yung
to?
CCTV po, we are getting a copy from the Bureau of BJNP kasi sila po yung...
Nasa Cambagong Diwa siya.
Sa Cambagong Diwa po. Okay. So, pero inimbestiga po, tinawag po namin yung si Madriaga, tinawag din po namin yung na-identify na nag-harm. And meron naman pong
Nag-complement
report.
po yung kanilang story.
Nagtugma naman po yung istorya nila.
Also, there's, di ba, ang gusto ata ng kanyang abogado ay mailipat si Ramil Madriaga. I think sa NBI, hindi ho ba?
Well, there is a request po sa amin. But of course, again, there is a court process. Kasi pag pumasok po sa korte yan,
That is not up to you, right?
hindi po sa amin yung decision yan. Ang korte po yung magdi-decide, they will determine kung necessary po yung paglipat.
And,
but we are willing to accept po.
Okay, lastly, kasi bagong balita din to yung kay Michelle D. nagpunta din po sa NBI, hindi ho ba? Any update on that, sir?
Well, nagsubmit lang po siya ng kanyang counter affidavit and it is already submitted for resolution. Then the investigating officer will come out with their recommendation to the legal department namin and it will go up to
When
my office
kaya
po.
ho sa legal?
Well, siguro po, pag natapos po dun sa, may period po yan na susundin. Siguro in the next 2-3 weeks, patatapos po yan.
All right. NBI Director, Attorney Melvin Matibag. Sir, good to have you. And let's talk again soon, sir. Let's see what happens on Thursday.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you po.
Maraming salamat. That's On Point. Join us again tomorrow, 7:30 p.m. here on BNC, the Billionario News Channel. I'm Pinky Webb. Thank you for watching.